Welcome, everyone. It is 11 o'clock Central, so we will get started. Thank you for tuning into today's webinar, Engaging Students in Proper Swine Care, Tools for Teaching Artificial Insemination, Farrowing, and Piglet Processing. My name is Emily Winnestorfer. I will be your moderator for today's presentation. Presenting, we have Jamey McIntosh. He is the Education Programs Manager here at Realityworks. Jamey has been with us for a little over 10 years and came to us with an extensive education background as a former educator teaching high school in Wisconsin and in Colorado. His topics cover student engagement, technology in the classroom, gaming, filling the skills gap, business education, and various agriculture and welding topics. He is a great resource for today's presentation. With that being said, I will pass it over to Jamey to get us rolling.
Thanks, Emily. Really appreciate taking the time today to be here. As was said, this is a great introduction to proper swine care and how to help your students be able to learn in the classroom. So to get started, just a few things. Welcome. My name is Jamey McIntosh, and I am deeply involved with all of our agriculture education products here, as well as our welding and trade skills. And we also have other areas of expertise within health science and family consumer science as well. So with all of these different products that we have, we're really focusing on teaching and training in the world of swine and everything kind of in what is going on in that world. So how do we get here? Well, it all really comes with instructor feedback, and it's turned into educational instructional products here. So really what we've heard from the classroom and from ag educators is that, it becomes a challenge. There are less students coming from the farm, fewer options to go out into the agricultural world. There's more need to bring that educational learning and hands-on learning into the classroom and get students that understand and kind of get them on their career paths and pathways that lead to different focuses in the world of ag education, agriculture in general. What we're talking about today is really focusing on swine and how you can help students get an understanding of the proper really animal husbandry and health of the animal with swine involved. So one of the things that we hear a lot from instructors is that it is difficult for individualized learning, managing your classroom effectively, and then also safety. And I'm hearing that more and more as we work through coming out of a pandemic and working through that world. We have the safety of our students, we have the safety of you, the instructor, but in this world, we also have the safety of the animal itself, and making sure that we're working to protect and to help all involved. So that is a priority. And then also everything we do, we really focus on aligning to standards and having the best practices available. So with that said, what we're going to talk about today is simulations and how we can help bring simulations into the classroom, how we can help you to help your students learn about and have a better understanding of hands-on simulation. So when they get out to the real and do the real thing, they have a better understanding. So why do we do simulations and hands-on learning? Well, a lot of times it really boils down to some of these topics here of it being too big. Sometimes just getting the ability to go to a farm, to maybe to a pig farm, and being able to actually do any type of animal husbandry or care is just, it's too big. It's too costly. A lot of times you can't have it on site, and that can become an issue. And going to a farm in some cases, especially with biodiversity, biosecurity, all these different things, there is an issue that it could be costly to the farmer or to the animal themselves. Too dangerous sometimes. Practicing some of these types of things like teeth clipping, ear notching, things of that nature, that is something that can be dangerous if it's not done correctly. It can be dangerous to the animal if it is, and a lot of times you can do it once and then you have to wait for more animals. So those are kind of the things with the too repetitive as well. And then also sometimes it can be too difficult to manipulate, where the learning process needs to take place. And so if you can do it on a stationary item before a moving interactive live item, that can be helpful. And so these are some of the reasons why simulations is very important. Now, in our world and what we do, we focus on realism. We want to get as realistic as possible. So everything that we're talking today, we've actually gone out in the field and we've done it ourselves. We've practiced it. We've asked experts, what's the correct way to do it? What's the best way to learn how to do this? And then we've implemented that into our product base. So everything that we talk about today, we have done, and then we've tried to mimic it and get it as close to realistic as possible in the real world today. So let's talk a little bit about the things that we're going to talk about today. Like we said, we want to introduce and help your students learn about artificial insemination, about farrowing, and then about litter processing. So we're going to use two of our products today, our Swine Breeder, which I have behind me here, and then our Swine Litter Processing Kit as well, and use those as our examples to really focus in and get your students to understand and learn different techniques that they would use in the real world. So along with these simulations, we do have other animal models that focus on swine and really kind of dig in there. These are all animal models. They have removable organs. We have curriculum on everything. And we also have quick start guides with anatomy terminologies and assembly instructions. So for example, we have our pig. I like to call her Priscilla. This is a 1/6 size actual model that has all the different parts and pieces. You can take it apart and then you can put it back together, allowing students to see the inside and all the different anatomy that the pig has. We also have reproductive systems. And so we have the pig uterus that you can use to really, and this is a life-size model so students can see what's happening in the uterus, what's happening in the reproductive tract in this world. We also have a pig stomach, allowing you to take it apart and look on the inside, see what's happening. So individual models as well as large models that we have. And finally, we have a dissected fetal pig, allowing us a larger than life size fetal pig, allowing you to take it apart and show the different areas that you need to dissect. If you're doing any dissections, this is a great tool to be able to show, to demonstrate what's going on before students go and do it on a real fetal pig. Now, want to talk about innovative learning tools for your classroom. So we're going to focus in on two different products. We're going to focus in on our Swine Breeder first, and then move into our swine litter processing models. So Swine Breeder, okay, this is our artificial insemination simulator. It's a one-of-a-kind life-size female swine, kind of the back end of this. Now, the great thing about this is that you get two different options here. You not only learn artificial insemination, but you also have the ability to do farrowing. So we also include two different piglets that allow you then to actually try and work through the different understanding of the simulator. So before we get too far in here, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to just show you a little bit of our swine simulator. So behind me here, I have it up on the table. All right, this is something where it is large enough where I can actually put on the ground and sit on top of it. It has this area here, so you can actually do artificial insemination from behind or sitting on top of it as well. Now, a few things about this is we have two different tracks. We have a reproductive track that can go in here and fit inside, all right, into our area here. This allows me to actually do an artificial insemination using my pipette here, going in and doing artificial insemination. I'll show you a little bit about that in a minute here. The other area that we have is, right now, I have the farrowing reproductive tract in here. As you can see, it allows me to actually have our piglets, and I have two piglets here, and we'll look at this in just a moment as well, a little closer. But in this case here, we have our piglet. And as it is coming out, I can actually be here going in and feeling around, making sure that it's coming out and be able to actually birth or farrow this piglet. The other place here is in this is we have the ability for somebody else to come in from the backside and to give it more pressure, less pressure, move it forward, backward, allowing a two-person operation or a one-person operation to learn the proper work that you need for farrowing. So I'm going to show you here a few different things. Kind of an up close and personal view of this. So I want to show you first off, here is the piglet that comes along with it. All right. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is a piglet that has all the features. It has an actual mouth opening there, your snout. All right. It has the ears, all right, legs. All of this is movable, allowing you to be able to move it into different positions. And we'll talk about that in a moment of why that is important. So you can actually move the piglet back and forth. The other feature that I want to show a little bit more up close is inside of our reproductive tract here, you can actually see, and we have the cervix here. Try to get it so you can see, and inside you can see this is all a clear visual for your students to be able to see the actual corkscrewing in the cervix here, so then they can actually do a pipette or a artificial insemination. Both post-cervical works as well as working with your pipette there. All right, so let me bring this back up here for us and share again. So reason showing these things and kind of giving a little bit of an introduction here and giving you that visual is because we have great educational training tools along with it. As you can see here, this is for you to have practice opportunities over and over. Allow students to do trial and error. Try one way, see if it worked. We have curriculum that goes along with it. And I'm going to show you some of the slides here showing you the forward presentation position, the backward presentation position. If you have other problems like breech, what are you going to have to do in that? All right, a double over. And this is a great place where you can see when I was able to manipulate and move our piglet here, you can actually double it over. You can turn it sideways. You can manipulate it. It fits in our reproductive tract here, our farrowing tract, to be able to push it through and have students see that it's stuck. And what do they need to do? Being able to move it out and get it out of into a better position. All right. Actually walking through that with your students. We have two piglets present. And so here again, as they get stuck, if there is a problem when farrowing, you can actually lay one on top of the other, one over the other one, and then actually do the farrowing process, allowing your students to get that learning of, okay, there's two of them in there. What am I going to do? Which one do I take first? How do I find the body parts, the anatomy that's needed to be able to pull one out before you pull the other one out? All right. So we have different options here for you to be able to practice. Again, a lot of different practical uses here for you, both in great PowerPoint slides, curriculum, but then the practice, allowing to go and do the real thing. So now I want to jump to our swine litter processing product here. Now, in this case here, as we go into it, again, our swine litter processing is a little different than our AI simulator because it's not just one product. We have 4 different piglets. Okay. The reason we have 4 is that this is something where you can have your students group up. You can have it as a station. You can allow your students to be able to go to different locations and then be able to do this. And again, we have everything that the students need. So all the tools that they will need come with this product, and then replacement parts, because you will be actually doing teeth clipping, ear notching, tail clipping, and castration. So it includes the 4 piglets and all the processing tools as well. Again, one of the things that we have here is all of our products, and this product includes curriculum. So it gives you all those opportunities for real life experiences, for demo purposes, to be able to show students how to do it and then let them go ahead and do it themselves. So we walk through everything that's included, and then there's ability for practice, students to be able to actually do what they have been shown or what they have been talking about. Now they get to actually do that hands-on work. So in this case here, we're just going to walk through it, and then I'm going to show you some of those things. Now, we talk about the use of iron injection and where you would go it. There's no place here to actually inject. You could put a needle in here, but we talk through in our curriculum of where that location is, how you would do it, what you need to do in that situation to get the iron shots in that place. All right. We then go through using things like ear notching. We talk about ear notching. So we have the tool. We then show the animal itself, allowing students to learn how to actually do it. So in this case here, you see the P up in the corner there for practice. We teach the students how proper ear notching is done, just like you do in the classroom. And then we let them go and actually try it, actually do the ear notching itself. Clipping the teeth, we also have that. We actually have teeth in the animal so that the student can actually feel where they're located and then what they need to do in the sense of actually clipping them and cutting those teeth. So in this case here, we give them the opportunity to feel that. And then we have extra ones here. And I'm going to show extra ones. All you have to do then is take one out and replace it with the other. We sell replacement packs as well. So there's never a need for them not to get the opportunity to try and to actually do the clipping and learn that technique. Again, we have this as a practice, so teaching them how to use it and then going along and actually practicing it. The next thing we have is tail docking. And so we actually have the Piglet with a tail here, allowing students to learn what the proper cutting technique is, how to use different types of tools to actually do it, and why you would then do it, and the importance of it. One of the great features of our tail is that a tail docking is something that can be kind of unnerving for a student the first time. They don't have the confidence of the importance of actually going in and being confident and clipping that tail fully. And so that can cause a lot of pain for a piglet if not done correctly. This allows them to have that same type of pressure and material, and it feels like the tail end of a pig, so then you can actually cut it and get that confidence before you go and do the real thing. So we walk through all the different steps that is needed for them to do a proper tail docking to then have a healthy animal. And then finally, we talk about castration. And in this case here, we walk through the steps of castration and how you would actually go about walking through and going through each step of the castration process. All right, working through the correct cuts, making sure that they cut through the membranes that are the skin and the membrane, and then going in and making sure you are removing the testicles as well. So with that being said, I want to show you a little closer here for this and kind of walk through some of those different features so you can see kind of up close what I'm talking about. So we're going to start at the head of the animal and move our way down. So in this case here, I'll try to give a visual. Here's our piglet here. All right, it has the ability to move, but inside we have the teeth right here. And so I can remove those teeth and show you what this looks like. It has actual little teeth parts that you are going to be clipping. All this does then is slips right inside the mouth here. All right, goes right into that place. And then all you need to do is have the student come up, have them make sure they're in the proper position as they're doing this teeth cutting, come on inside, and then I will just do an example here where I actually cut the tooth right off. All right. Now they can cut all the teeth off. Once they've cut them all off, you can take that out and you can put in another one and start working again. So the teeth here is something where they can come in, they can learn which teeth that they need to clip, being able to go in and being able to cut those teeth and what to do there. So that is our teeth clipping area there. The next one is our ears. We have ears, and these are pliable ears. These are replacement ears. So this ear can actually move out. You put it into place, and then you can do a ear notching. And I have another one here next to it. So you can see this is what it looks like outside with different notches on it. All you do is you roll this up, and then it goes right into the ear there. But you can see the material here has that fleshly feel to it. So as I come in here, I can take a ear notcher. I can come in here. I'm going to cut. All right. And then take it right off there. All right. And as you can see, this material has a little bit of a squish to it. So again, it helps the student to be able to learn, okay, yep, am I doing that correctly? And so I'm not going to harm the animal by being confident with actual doing that. So ear notching comes in here, and you can do the ear on both sides. You have the ability to do that. Now, moving down to the other end of the animal, I'm going to show you the tail. The tail here has a ability to take out different lengths of this tail. And so you can have it be shorter, you can have it be longer. And then there is a zipper here where I can unzip and I can add or replace my tail as it gets shorter as I cut it. Now, with this, I don't know if it's going to show 100%, but the tail itself has a full inside there where, in this case, when I clip, it is not something that it's just a piece of string, but there is some pressure to it. And the purpose here is to be able to go in and as I cut, make sure that I am cutting a clean cut here through. All right. So getting that clean cut and then being able to do that, because again, confidence and making sure that I'm not causing any excess pain or having to do it again or not getting a full clip in there for that. Lastly here, I'm going to move to the belly of the animal. I'm going to show for castration here. All right. So as you see this, let it kind of focus in here. One of the things that you'll see is that we already have slots cut. Okay. And so in this case, this is that simulation of when I would cut, I would make a cut here and I would cut down. In this case, I've already cut that first one. When I make that cut, I have a testicle in there and I bring it out into this world. Now, in this case here, it is in a membrane. And so in that membrane here, what I realize is, and in this one here, all right, to get the actual testicle out, I would have to make another incision cutting across there. And then that incision would allow me to start pulling that testicle out. And as you can see, I would basically do the simulation of 2 incisions here. And now I have that testicle. And so in this case here, I would pull that testicle up and I would do a cut along this line. And that would allow it to then be removed. All right, making sure that it is out. Now, in this case here, my testicle, all I would need to do then is bring it back up. I push it back down into place here, and it's ready for the next person to do that cut and to learn how to do it correctly. So again, simulation, and then it allows you to come back and do it again. So in this case here, what you see is it is allowing you to do multiple different types of cuts and procedures on a piglet and being able to repeatedly do that over and over again, allowing you to learn how to do it correctly. And if you have a problem, you just do it again and you keep on learning through that. And so that's where we go through all these different points and all these different pieces to be able to help you get to a point of understanding for proper care of the animal. So walking through that, we have about 5 minutes left of our time here. Want to open it up for any questions that might be available to you that you have on our swine litter processing simulator. Again, here's the box. It comes in a nice carrying box here where all the 4 piglets can be stored. All of the tools are stored, and then you can do repetitive over and over again. It comes with, and I can show you that too. All right. It comes with extra ears, extra teeth. It comes with tails, so your students can get that ability to do over and over again and get that repetitive learning and that muscle memory. With our breeder here, this comes with the 2 piglets. It comes with the farrowing track. It comes with the reproductive track. So you can do artificial insemination. You can do those things. So with that said, just checking, if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat area, the question and answer area. We would happily answer any questions that you have.
Hey, Jamey, do you want to go over what everybody's going to be receiving after the webinar?
Yeah, sure thing. So with this webinar, you will be getting this PowerPoint presentation in the sense of the video showing that you, if you have questions, you can go back and rewatch the video itself. And then we also will send this presentation. Purpose being is in this presentation, there are some great visuals for you to use if you want to use in your classroom on some of these different things. These visuals come right from our curriculum. And then we'll also give you a link where you can go and actually look at and use a sample of our curriculum and be able to use that as well, both from the links for the swine and also for swine AI and also for swine litter processing. So you'll get those curriculums to be able to use and look at as well. All right.
Perfect. I'm not seeing any other questions coming in, Jamey.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was say not hearing anything. Thank you for taking the time. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out to us at realityworks.com or you can get in touch with us through the email that you'll be getting with all this information as well. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you very much.